Hello friends, I'm FIDE instructor Atul Dahale and welcome to our chess course. Well, I hope I'm online and you can look at me properly. Should we start with our today's session? Just let me know, is everything good or not? I hope everything is perfect here. I think yes. Just let me know in chat guys if everything is perfect. Just say yes, no, whatever it is, just let me know. Okay? Your all S and O's defines many things for me. I hope everything is cool. So the first thing before we start, I would like to say that on Unacademy's platform there are many courses are uploading. In the previous month, although means this month only in August, my course is there. Even that course name is Art of Attack. Almost more than six lectures have been taught there, and Vishwanathan Anand's lecture is there, and many more grandmasters are also coming up on the platform. So I would like to say that in coming time, like in September, October, all those months, new sessions, new courses will be uploaded very soon. You can watch those live sessions live, okay, on the platform, only on the platform, not on the YouTube. So I would like to say that you should subscribe to the platform, that is Unacademy's website platform, by using my code, that is Atul87, and you will get the first month in just 99 rupees if you are the new user. And one more thing is that in subsequent months the packs are like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months and 24 months. You'll get huge discount, more than 50% discount you'll get if you use the code, that is Atul87. I hope you can see the code also, which is there on the screen. I have written it, and let's see how it goes. I hope that you will definitely subscribe, because after subscribing it is not just about my course. You will be getting all the courses in just 99 rupees for the first month, and subsequently for the next month also you will be getting in 10% discount. So it is a whole package. All the courses you will be getting in very affordable price, and that is a huge opportunity. As a chess player, I think if you really want to learn, then it is a good opportunity for you. So our today's topic of discussion is Aron Nimzowitsch. Well, first of all, the thing is that who was Aron Nimzowitsch, right? Aron Nimzowitsch was a great theoretician, you can say, the player, or you can say the author of the modern day history or the modern day chess theory, whatever you call it. He is the father of everything, because of whom now the things which we know about the positional concepts and everything, just because of him. So main thing is that when in the era of let's suppose 1910 or 1920s, in that period of time, he came up with the idea of writing the book. Previously also he was a very strong player, and he started writing some articles, but then he came up with the idea of writing the book, writing the main ideas, whatever he thought related to the positional play. So by first world chess champion, that is William Stennis, the new school of positional play started. Then in that school, many more improvements were done by the second world chess champion, that is Immanuel Lasker. And in that period of time only, Aron Nimzowitsch was there, who was a very great theoretician, who used to learn many things, and he used to try to apply all those things in his games also. So you can say that Aron Nimzowitsch was like a scientist. Okay, he was like a scientist, and he wanted to share his ideas with the whole world. That's why he wrote a very famous book that is called as the My System. So if you want to learn more about positional chess, then I would recommend you to learn from the book, that is My System. Okay, I hope you will buy that book and learn many things, because there is no top player in the world right now who has not read that book in their childhood, because he has two sections in that book. First of all, he talked about the elements of the positional play. What are the elements, like passed pawn, then center control, then the open files for the rook, then other things also, that the rapid development of pieces, then initiative, then prophylaxis. Yeah, I'm getting back to the key, that is prophylaxis, very soon. Prophylaxis is the term which was invented by Aron Nimzowitsch. He was the father of the hyper modern chess which we right now play, and all thanks to him, Prophylaxis means what? Well, prophylaxis means like preventing something, right? So in chess, what is prophylaxis? It means that you first of all you understand the ideas of your opponent. Okay, after understanding the ideas of your opponent, what you do next is you try to stop them. But before just stopping them, it means that you need to play something like passive. No, not at all. Aron Nimzowitsch suggested a different technique. He wanted to stop his opponent's ideas, but not by being passive. He wanted to stop the ideas by being a little bit active also. Means you stop your opponent's idea, but also you continue with your own plan of action. That is also very important in prophylaxis. Prophylaxis is not completely a passive system. Prophylaxis is something which you can be active also and stop your ideas also. So in these two sections we will be looking at Aron Nimzowitsch games, when we will be talking about his good games also, and some of his theories which he tried to implement in his book, and also in his play also. So first game which I have selected is Matissons versus Aron Nimzowitsch. For your just to for like for better understanding, best book for tactical chess. Well, Pankaj, tactical chess there are many books, like nowadays you can even read any book, that will be good. But if you want to really improve your game, tactics, just tactics will not help you. You need to understand why such and such move is played. Positionally also you need to be good. If you are like only tactical play is there, and if you're not having any understanding related to the positional play, then after some time your game is going to crumble. That is the main thing. So I will recommend you to study the positional games also, and the more you understand the strategies of the game, the more you will be able to play in a good way. Okay, it's not just the tactics. Tactics you can solve anytime on any website. I'll recommend you to solve tactics from any number of, like any website, like chess.com is there, play chess is there, chess24 is there, chess bomb is there. There are many websites where you can solve tactics. Tactics are always available. But if you want to improve your game, then you need to study good players games, you need to study books annotated by them, and then only your positional understanding will improve. You need to take efforts to improve your positional understanding. Okay, is that clear, guys? So should we start with our today's game? If you say yes, then we will definitely start it. Our first game is between Matissons and Aron Nimzowitsch. So guys, just give me a thumbs up. You can like the stream also and say yes in the chat, so that I'll understand that we are good to go. I'm waiting for you. Let's see. Yeah, I think we should start it. In this game, Matissons was white. He started with d4. Then Nimzowitsch was black. Yes, Adarsh Kumar is saying yes. Definitely we are going to start. And before we go further in the game, I would like to just say this thing, that in this game, Nimzowitsch showed that a small weaknesses in your pawn structure can damage many things, and the placement of your pieces. Yes, the placement of your pieces is very, very important. Okay, the way you handle the situation positionally determines many things in the game. So here knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4. Well, this is the Nimzo-Indian defense opening, and it was invented by Aron Nimzowitsch. He played this system quite a lot in his game. He adopted many interesting ideas from his games, and that's why, because of his continuous efforts to popularize this opening and also solidifying this opening strategies, this opening was named against Nimzowitsch. That's why it is named as Nimzo Indian defense. So knight of 3 was played, and here Nimzowitsch understands that okay, if he can ruin his opponent's pawn structure by playing b takes c3, then you can see that white's pawn structure is little bit ruined. He has double pawns on the c file. Is that clear, guys? Just let me know, is that clear to you? Now the pawn structure has been damaged. Guys, a little bit more interactive will be more fun. If you are being more interactive, you can ask me questions also, that will be more fun. So let's get interactive more and more. Okay, so bishop b takes c3. Now what Nimzowitsch did after this is like he tried to attack this weak pawns on the c file, and he did it very slowly and gradually. He directed his pieces towards opponent's weaknesses. So first of all he played d6, D6 is an important move because at some point you need to take the control of the center, and D6 move will also allow you to play C5 whenever it is necessary, because once you play C5 move, then this pawns will not go further, and if the pawns are not moving forward, then it will not be easy for white to exchange them, because exchanging a weakness or the weak pawn is a very good strategy. Now queen c2 was played by white. Here he plays queen e7. What is his idea? He wants to play e5 at some point so that he can expand in the center of the board. So my question for you, after bishop a3, which was played by Mattisons, sorry, what would you play? What would you play, guys, in this position? Can you please tell me? Which move do you think white should black should play in this position? Can you give me an answer? I hope I am live here and you can even watch it properly. I hope everything is perfect. C5. Well, आदर्श कुमार, हाँ मुझे हिंदी आती है, बट मुझे थोड़ा इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल लगता है, इसलिए मैं इंग्लिश में बात करता हूँ, बट हिंदी में भी थोड़ा थोड़ा बात ज़रूर करूँगा obviously. I hope that you understand English also. So C5 is suggested by Adarsh here. देखो भाई, main thing is that you should understand the chess principles, chess strategies which we are discussing in the game. Language should not be a barrier. The main thing is that you should understand. If you are understanding what I am saying, that is good enough for us, because we want to reach more and more towards like people, not only in Hindi but also in English region also. So I hope that it is good for everyone. Okay. So c5 was played. What is the idea of c5? Can you please tell me what might be the idea of c5? First of all, as I mentioned earlier, the bishop a3 is played so that white can play c5. Okay, so he stops the idea of c5 altogether by playing c5 move. Now these two pawns which are there on the c file are not going to come in the game very soon. As they are not going to come in the game very soon, here, okay, here in this position, knight c6, yes, knight c6 is something which might be played in the future, but by playing c5 these pawns are stopped, and next idea might be to direct the pieces towards these weaknesses. We'll see how Nimzowitsch played in a very nice manner to go for the weaknesses which are there on the c file. His opponent played g3, Mattisons played g3, and he played b6. Another very solid move in this position. By playing b6, what he wants to do is, like, this bishop is now going to come on a6. He is going to put pressure on the c4 pawn, and as this pawn will be attacked on c4, another thing is also there, that the knight c6 followed by knight a5, again he will be attacking the pawn on c4. So there will be two pieces which will be attacking the pawn on c4, and that is a good idea for him. And if he takes then gets two isolated double pawns. Yes, definitely it is one of the ideas, but the main idea is like c5 stopping c file, stopping both the pawns on the c file. So b6 is played, bishop g2. Now obviously if you directly place bishop a6 in this position, then the knight will move forward, and then this piece will be very strong on g2 square. So Nimzowitsch understand that I need to also put my bishop on b7 square so that attack on this diagonal. So after bishop b7, castling was played. He also castles, and then knight g2. Sorry. After knight g2, here Nimzowitsch just exchanged the bishop, and here, okay, first of all you should understand that what you should be playing from the white side. From white side, what he wants to do is like he exchanged his opponent's good bishop. That is a good idea, but in this position he needs to decide by which piece he should capture, knight g2 or king g2. So my question for you is like, by which piece will you recapture the bishop on g2? Can you please tell me by which piece will you capture on g2? Well, here Nimzowitsch opponent decided to capture on g2 with king. Okay, that is his thing he captured here. But this was a little bit inaccurate move, because you can see the knight on the rim is dim. Okay, the knight on the rim is dim. That's why he should have played something like knight g2, bringing back the knight in the game. As knight will come back in the game in future, he can even play knight f4. Yes, knight f2, knight g2. Yes, Gauri Shankar, Saubhagya. Yes, definitely. Adarsh, you are right about this thing. Saubhagya, he captured with the king, but king was not that good. He should have captured with the knight, so that knight can come in the game very soon. And even the idea of playing e4 followed by knight e3 is also a good idea in this position. Okay, so as these are the ideas in the position which could have happened, but it did not really happen. Doesn't have any good moves after. Well, Saubhagya, it has moves to go after knight g2. That's what I'm suggesting. Knight g2, if you play, then it can go to the squares, and that will be a good squares for the knight. And if you play king g2, the knight is not having any good squares anyhow. It will be on the corner of the board, and that is not a place for the knight. Knight belongs to the center of the board, and there you need to go. Okay, so here this is what should be played, but he plays king g2. And okay, what we wanted to do in this position we wanted to go towards the c4 pawn or the c3 pawn. So he plays queen b7 check. Now, okay, now at least now white should have played knight f3. If he plays knight f3 in this position, at least the knight is coming back in the game. But here also Matissons did not play that move. He played king g1 move, and it was not that great move. After king g1, the thing is that here, what was black's plan here? Can you please tell me what was black's plan? Why he wanted to play queen b7? First of all, does he wanted to just give a check, or he had some plan of action in his mind? What do you think he wanted to play after queen b7? Let's see whether you can get it or not. I'll wait for your answer, guys. I'll wait for your answer, definitely. Okay, I think it will take a little bit more time. Knight c6, queen a6. Yes, definitely. Here, knight c6, queen a6 is one of the plans in this position. And first of all, he started with direct attack, that is queen a6. Why is he playing queen a6? Is because the c4 pawn is a weakness in this position. Yes. So, definitely knight c6, knight a5, and followed by this. But knight c6, knight a5 is a little bit slow plan. First of all, you attack the pawn with queen a6. Now he needs to defend the pawn, and then once he defends the pawn with queen b3, now you play knight c6, because now we are threatening also the d4 pawn also, like c takes d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4 is also one of the ideas, but we will not go for that thing. But we are also threatening knight a5, attacking queen as well as the pawn on c4. Okay, attacking. Here knight e4, we don't really need to play knight e4 here. The main weakness is c4, because the c3 pawn can be protected very easily with the bishop e2 move. Okay, it can be protected. And once we played queen a6, we were attacking the a3 bishop also. So two things were being attacked, so he must play queen b3, and now knight c6. So you need to bring your pieces as much as possible with the gain of a tempo. Now what is the gain of the tempo? This term is also invented by Aron Nimzowitsch in his book. What is the gain of the tempo? Means you threaten your opponent something, and once he stops that, he need to do something. It is inevitable threat, like knight c6, knight a5 is definitely going to come on the board. That's why he played this move. Queen a6 was also played because the c4 pawn as well as the a3 bishop was being attacked. So whatever the plans are there from the white side, he needs to stop those plans. He needs to take care of the threats which we are giving, and in that meantime we can do something else also. Once he needs to play queen b3, after that we can play knight c6, knight a5, and it will be good for us. Okay, so did you understand this thing, guys? I hope you understood this thing. So knight c6 was played. His opponent plays rook f d1. After rook f d1, knight a5 is played. He decides to give up the pawn here, but before giving up the pawn there, he found out one nice idea. It might feel that okay, white is going to give up the pawn on c4, but he had a good move at his disposal. Can you find out that good move from the white side? Can you find out that good move? Can you please let me know what is the good move? is there? Bishop b4. No, your queen is being attacked. Others, your queen is being attacked. What to do? Queen is being attacked in this position and you need to take care about it. Your queen on b3 is being attacked. The pawn on c4 is also being attacked by two pieces from black side, and white found out a good move. Knight f5. No, 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 guys. Pay attention what is being attacked here. Pay attention what is being attacked here. White is on the move. If you play d5 kind of a move, your queen on b3 will be lost. Queen a4 will also lose the pawn with queen takes c4. Others, the pawn will be lost in that case. The pawn will be lost in that case. Here, white came up with a good move, that is queen b5. Yes, Gauri Saraswat, yes, definitely he played with the, came up with the move that is queen to b5. And here you don't have time to capture the pawn on c4. Okay, you don't really have the time to capture there. That's why he played queen takes b5, c takes b5. Now, one more thing I will tell you. Weakness will definitely be a weakness, whether it is a pawn or whether it is a square. And Nimzowitsch used to say this thing, that it is not the piece or it is not just the pawn which is weak. It is basically the square which is weak. In this whole position on the queen side, if you look at, the c4 square is the weakness. So even if you put the bishop there, that bishop will be weak. The pawn was there, that was weak. Okay, the pawn has moved to b5 square, but that doesn't really matter now, because once we occupy that square with our knight, the knight will be very nicely placed here. And one more thing is that a square is a weakness because no one else which can control that square. We can see that the pawn on c3 is a backward pawn, and there is no pawn on d file or b file which can dislodge the piece which will be sitting on the c4 square. And another thing is that the bishop on a3 is being attacked. Bishop has only one square, that is the c1. And one more thing I will tell you, whenever there is a distance between the bishop and the knight of two squares, okay, in this position you can see one square and two square. This is the distance between these two pieces, bishop and knight. In that case, the piece which is on the back rank, okay, the piece which is on the back rank, in this case the bishop on c1, that piece will be dominated by the other piece. Even if you put the knight on c1 and the bishop on c4, in that case the knight's jumping squares will be blocked here in that case. And the same way, in the same way we can see this bishop jumping, like going square, these four squares are being controlled by the knight here. And that's how you dominate the bishop and as well as the knight. Do you like this idea, guys? Do you like this idea? This is how you dominate the bishop, or this is how you dominate the knight if it's having two squares between them. This was also one of the ideas which Nimzowitsch put forward for us. I hope you are liking it. Please let me know. Please let me know in comment section. You can even like the stream and I will be very happy. In that time you give me your reaction. I'll drink a little bit water. Okay, fine. So here we have got our piece to a very nice square, that is c4. Now what to do next? Here you can see the knight on c4 is not only attacking but also defending the pawn on d6. Okay, it is also defending the pawn on d6. But all these things are there, we need our pieces to be opened up. So Nimzowitsch understood that playing in the center of the board is not going to help him. He needs to open up the file for his rook. So to open up the file for his rook, he played a6 move in this position. The idea is very clear. He wants to attack the pawn on b5. If white plays a4, that will be a mistake, because after ab5, the rook on a1 will be hanging, and that is not something which white would like to play. So he played b takes a6, rook takes a6. Now you can evaluate the position more clearly, that the rook has a very nice open file. First of all, it is attacking the a2 pawn, which is also a weak pawn now. As you can see, whenever the backward pawn is there, backward means what? The pawn which is not having any other pawn who is supporting that. So here a2 pawn is not being supported by any of the other pawn. The pawn on c3 is not being supported. And one more thing is that the pawn on a2 is isolated. There is no other pawn which is there near that pawn. There is no pawn on the b file. So this kind of pawn structure is called as the weak pawn structure. Okay, this kind of pawn structure is called as the weak pawn structure. And here the simple plan of action is there from the black side. Black will be going to means black will be very happy to play rook f8 followed by attacking the pawn on a2, and that will be good enough for him. So here white decides to capture on c5, thinking that he will get some counterplay. Now the most important thing is what to play in this position. From the black side, you can capture with the pawn on c5 with b pawn also, and also d pawn also. By which pawn should we capture on c5? Can you please tell me? The c5 the main thing is that you should not allow any counterplay to your opponent. That is the main thing. If you can stop the counterplay in your game, then everything will be stopped. So you need to understand what your opponent wants to play, and accordingly you should take your decisions. B takes c5. Yes, we should play b takes c5. And after b takes c5, the thing is that your opponent will not get the d file open. That is a very important thing, because the d6 pawn is supported by the knight on c4, and our knight on c4 is very strong in this position, because there is no other piece which can dislodge the knight on c4. Okay, so here he played, and finally Madison's thought that okay, my knight on h4 is not doing anything and it should come back in the game. That's why he played knight g2. Well, he is playing knight g2. So what to do in that position? He is bringing the knight, but Nimzowitsch thought okay, he wants to play knight e3, and he wants to exchange one of the knights in this position means, but he was ready in this position. He played knight d5. He created his own threat. He is going to attack the pawn on c3 in that case, and he is going to ask his opponent like, what do you have after that? So his opponent decided to support the pawn on c3 with rook d3 move. And after rook d3, which move should you play, guys? You should go for your opponent's weaknesses which are there in the position. What to do now? Rook b8 is your suggestion. Well, rook b8 is not good. We wanted to play not rook b8, we wanted to play rook a8. That is what we wanted to do in the position, guys. And Aron Nimzowitsch understood that the weakness is there on the a2 square, so he needs to attack on that square. So he plays rook f8. He's not doing anything. This game is completely a positional masterpiece. Slowly and gradually he built up his position. He put his pieces on the right square, then he put his pieces in opponent's weak squares, and now you can see white is not having any kind of plans. He is not having any kind of counterplay also where he can attack. So he plays rook f8, just attacking the pawn on a2, and here e4 was played. And after e4, the knight on d5 is being attacked, but the thing is that the pawn on c3 is being supported by the rook on d3. That is the only square. So if the rook on d3 is not there in the on the board, then the pawn on c3 is going to fall for sure. So here Aron Nimzowitsch decided to play knight e5. After knight e5, the rook must move somewhere. Let's suppose it moves to d1 square or d2 square. We can simply capture the pawn on c3. This is one of the ideas in the position. Or we have another idea also, that is knight f3 check, followed by we will be capturing the rook on d2. So to avoid these things, white must play rook d1. In that case, we again capture the pawn on c3, again attacking the rook on d1. And if he plays rook anywhere, rook f1 is the only chance, then we can simply capture the pawn on a2. And after this, we have two extra pawns. These two extra pawns are there, and still the knights are dominating the game, and that's why his opponent decided to resign the game. Yeah, even if he sacrifices the rook here, rook takes d5, it is not going to help him much, because after rook a2, this rook is also going to get exchanged in this position, because if you play rook b1 here, then black can simply play rook a1. Again the rook is being attacked, and after this the bishop will be lost anyhow. So giving the rook sack is not going to help white in this position. And if you, let's suppose in this position you can play rook a2, still there are weaknesses related to back rank, and black will be winning in that position for sure. The pawn on c3 is going to fall with rook c2, and the pawn will fall, and black will be having a clear passed pawn, plus he has the exchange up position. So I think this is not something which white can defend here. Okay, So do you like this game, guys? Do you like this game? Do like the stream if you are new here. And we are going to see one more game by Aron Nimzowitsch very soon. So are you ready to look at Aron Nimzowitsch next game? I have selected one more game for you guys where Nimzowitsch will be playing in his elemental style. Yes, sir. Okay, fine. So the game which we are going to see next is also very interesting game, because in this game Aron Nimzowitsch played against opponent's weaknesses, and the game which we are going to see is very interesting. So let's go to the game and find out what really happened in the game. The game started with just give me a second. Yeah, I need to. Okay, I think it is just let me check. Okay, the board layout is also good, guys. We are good to go. And here Nimzowitsch was black. His opponent Samish, who was also a very strong player at that time, was white. He started with d4 and f6. Okay, and okay, let me change the name here for the players. Samish versus Nimzowitsch is this game. Okay, Samsch, Samish, Saemi, Saemi SCH, yes, Samish, and it was played in the year of 1923. Nimzowitsch was black in this position, so for you, I'll be flipping the board so that you will have a little bit better understanding. So c4 was played, e6. As usual, Nimzowitsch goes for his own idea, that is e6, that is the Nimzo Indian, or you can say even Queen's Indian. He was the main inventor of that opening. Knight f3 was played by Samish here, and now he plays b6. The Nimzowitsch used to believe this thing firmly, that you need to control the center not only with the pawns but also with the pieces. Here the knight on f6 is already controlling the pawn, like the square on e4, and next move he is going to play bishop to b7 square so that he can control the center with his piece also. So he firmly believes that pawns as well as the pieces can control the center. Okay, so here his opponent played g3, he plays bishop b7, and now the e4 square is being controlled, bishop g2. Now it's time to castle on the king side. That's why he plays bishop e7, and then he plays knight c3. Well, after knight c3, here black castles, white also castles, and now it's time to think in a little bit about the position. Here obviously white has these two pawns in the center of the board, and black needs to do something here. So Nimzowitsch played, yes, Nimzowitsch decided to play d5. After d5, the thing is that, okay, here black is threatening the pawn on c4, so he plays knight e5, a good move, because the idea of dc4 is stopped, because the bishop on b7 will be captured by the bishop on g2, so he cannot really do that thing. c6 was played by black here, means Nimzowitsch played c6, and he has a very solid structure in the center of the board. This is how you play the closed Catalan structure, or you can even say like Queen's Indian, you are talking about Gauri, but the thing is that here this opening is called as the Catalan opening, and this is the closed format in that opening. Okay, so c6 was played, white plays c takes d5, c takes d5, bishop f4 move was played. Now you need to understand what your opponent wants to do. Here white wants to play rook c1 followed by knight b5, and he wants to control the c7 square, and he wants to attack everything. In that case he wants to control the c file also. So Nimzowitsch understood this thing. Okay, my opponent wants to control the c file, I need to do something about it, because as he has played cd5 in this position, why he played cd5 was very important, that at some point he wants to play knight c6. Sorry, he wants to play knight c6, but before he goes for those things, he first plays a6, stopping his opponent's idea of playing knight b5 anytime in the future. then rook c1 was played, and now he takes the another square also from his opponent, because knight a4 was also one of the annoying moves in the position. Okay, that is also one of the annoying moves. He plays b5. So slowly and gradually he is taking away squares from his opponent's knight. Okay, so here after the move that is queen b3, Nimzowitsch played knight c6, knight takes c6, bishop takes c6, and here his opponent played h3. Obviously h3 move was played thinking that knight g4 and all such moves will be stopped, but to be honest, h3 move was not at all necessary, because even if the knight jumps on the g4 square, it is not going to help him anyhow. So after h3, there is no concrete thing which is happening in the position. Here instead of h3, white could have utilized his rook on c file. Okay, it could have utilized his rook on c file, because you can see the pawns are there on the light square and Nimzowitsch has the light square bishop. So according to the theory, the bishop on c6 is actually a bad piece. It will be a good piece only if he's going to get some kind of room, but as his own pawns are there on the light squares, his bishop on the light square is a bad piece because it cannot go out. Okay, is that clear to guys? Clear to you guys? a4 breakthrough, well, it will help black. If you play a4 breakthrough, it will help black, because he will be happy to play um, b4 maybe, or even play bishop takes b takes a4. Sorry guys. I'm having a little bit cold, so this is my condition. a4 will definitely help black in this position. So a4 is not a good idea, but white had a very nice idea, that is knight e4, because after knight e4 he will be getting the square that is on c5. Okay, he will be getting that square on c5, and that will be very interesting for him. Let's suppose you play something like rook c8 supporting the bishop on c6, because okay, let's suppose you capture also on d e4, then rook takes c6 and white will be getting very great control of the c file. The a6 pawn is still a weakness. Next move he is going to play rook c1, and white will be dominating the position because he has a great control of the c file. So after this knight e4, the best idea for black can be d takes e4. Then if you play rook takes c6, then queen takes d4 is the idea. Okay, white has given up on pawn, but what he has got in return is tremendous activity for his pieces, and that is what Nimzowitsch was trying to play in the position. He wanted to get more activity in the position. So knight e4 was definitely a worth a try in this position, because after bishop g5, the pawn on e4 is definitely going to fall. It cannot be protected by black pieces, and once the pawn on e4 will be falling, then this bishop will be very strong. Plus white has the two files which are also okay. I'm not saying that black will be lost. He will be surviving in that position. Definitely he will be surviving, but white has more activity in the position. Okay, so knight e4 was not played by white. He had the opportunity to play that move. He played h3 move. Well, after h3, Nimzowitsch understood that the bishop on c6 is hanging and he needs to do something in that position, so he plays queen d7. So after king h2, अब क्या करोगे white के side से, मतलब black के side से? Guys, can you please tell me what would you do with black's pieces in this case? Which move will you play? Which move will you play in this position? Black is on the move. I'm waiting for your answer, guys. Black to place there. What to do in this position? You need to find out a very nice idea in this position, which helped actually Nimzowitsch. Knight h5. Yes, knight should go to the h5 square. That is a very good idea in this position because this bishop is a very strong piece on this diagonal. And once this bishop will be gone from this diagonal, then black will have some chances. And another thing is that, which is the hidden idea in this position, which is the hidden idea in this position, that white wanted to play e4 to open up the position, because if he opens up the position, the side who has more developed pieces should try to open up the position, and black should stop that idea. So once the bishop goes back to d2 square, here Nimzowitsch plays f5 move. Okay, Nimzowitsch plays f5 move, stopping all the breaks which are there on the e file. e4 square is now controlled, and the next, okay, next he is going to come back with his knight to f6 whenever it is necessary. It will not be a sac or h4. No. All those unnecessary kind of sacrifices will not be played in good players games, guys. Unnecessary sacrifices will, because you whenever you are going for the attack, you should understand one thing, that your pieces should be ready to attack. If your pieces are not there in that area wherever you want to attack, then your attack will be premature and it will not be successful. That's what I have even talked about in my course also, that is the art of attack, which is there on the platform. You should go there and look at the course. You can subscribe to the like content which is there on the Unacademy's platform, and I have specifically talked about the art of attack. My course name is that, and how you should attack, how you should not play, how to avoid the premature attack. All those things are there on the platform. You can even use my subscription code, that is Atul 87, and the first month you can try how it is it, because in first month if you will be getting all the lectures, not only from my course but also from Vishwanathan Anand's course, even grandmasters like Sri Ramza, Praveen Tipse, and Vijayalakshmi Subramanian. I will just tell you that more than 14 grandmasters will be giving live sessions. International masters are there, experienced coaches are there, who will be talking on the platform, who will be sharing their knowledge with you. So don't miss this opportunity, because it is very affordable to get the coaching by the giants like Vishwanathan Anand and also Vladimir Kramnik. So guys, take out this opportunity, just subscribe, use my coupon code, that is Atul87, and be the part of this new revolution which is going to happen in the Indian chess history. That chess will be taught, chess will be brought to each and every one of you with very affordable price, that is there on the platform. So here, coming back to the game, his opponent played queen d1. His idea is still to play e4 and followed by attack the knight on h5. So here black plays b4. He says like, okay, you want to attack my knight on h5, so he goes for the b4 move. The knight is being attacked, knight goes to b1 square. That is the only square which his knight is having, because you can see the d1 square is not there, e2 square is not there, even the a4 square is also not there. So he plays knight b1. Yes, definitely attacking players are definitely there, and he plays knight b1 in this position, and the bishop which was sleeping until now comes up in the game with a good effect. Now the bishop b5 is played. He discouraged the idea of playing e4 in this position, because now bishop will be attacking the rook on f1 in this position. Okay, will be attacking the rook on f1. So he plays rook g1. Again he wants to play e4 move. White is very firm about playing the e4 pawn or the e pawn forward, but here Nimzowitsch says like, okay, you want to play e4, play it, but I will play bishop d6. And his opponent finally plays e4 move. Well, what is really happening? What was the plan of action from Nimzowitsch in this position? Was he even caring about the knight on h5, or he found out a great idea in this position? What do you think he played in this position? Nimzowitsch played in the style of Mikhail Tal, or you can say Vishy Anand sir. He sacrificed his knight on h5, but he went on to play something very brilliant. Can you see? Because here in this position, you can see white's pieces are sleeping on the queen side. They are not really helping, and black's pieces, one bishop is already there, this bishop is already there, so these squares are there. This rook can also be there. This queen is also ready to come in the game anytime. So what do you think here Aron Nimzowitsch played? No, bishop g3 is not something he played. He decided to first capture on e4. By capturing on e4, the bishop on g2 is completely blocked, and after queen takes h5, he captured the pawn on f2. Okay, he captured the pawn on f2. Now there are many threats in this position. First of all, you can even see that in this position the rook on a8 is going to come in the game very soon. This bishop on g2 is blocked. The knight cannot really come in the game because the bishop on d2 is there, and this square, that is the f1 square, is being controlled by the bishop on b5, the f1, because there is no idea from white side who can play rook f1, because if he plays rook f1, this kind of a move, the bishop will happily capture on f1, and after this okay, we can maintain the rook there just by playing rook a f8, and then if you capture here, the rook will still be there on the 7th rank or the 2nd rank, you can say, in this case, and black is completely dominating in this position because white pieces are not doing that great job. If you move your bishop anywhere in this position, let's suppose you play bishop e3, then this rook is being attacked, but we can simply capture the pawn on b2, followed by the pawn on a2 will also fall, and in that case the pawn a5, a4, b3, and black will be queening the pawn very easily because white pieces are not doing that great job on that side of the board. So this is how the story goes, and here, okay, white decided to play queen g5, protecting the bishop on d2. Now my question for you is like what to do here in this position. The main idea of any attacking player or any attacking position is bringing the pieces in the game. That's what you should try to do. And how to continue in this position, can you please tell me? I'll wait for your answer, guys, because still we have around 15 minutes to go, 14 minutes to go to end our lecture also. So we are going to see one more position by Aron Nimzowitsch, but before we go further, I want to see how much you understand about this position. Which move will you play here? Please tell me. Which move will you play here? Rook a f8. Yes, definitely we should play rook a f8 in this position because we should bring our pieces as soon as possible in the position. Here king h1 was played, and now he plays rook a8 f8. Now this queen is not having in that squares. He plays queen e3, and he brings another piece in the game. He plays bishop d3. Just slowly and gradually he is bringing the pieces in the game. Here another try was also to play, or you can say even he can win the queen also with the move rook e2. The queen will be having only one square, that is b3, but then the queen will be trapped. Then the queen will be trapped with the move of bishop a4, and queen will not be having any squares to go around, and white will lose the queen in that case. So this was the idea but he plays bishop d3 with the same idea that rook e2 and the queen will be trapped, because once he plays sorry, not these arrows, rook e2 in this position, then the queen will not be having f2, f3, f4, g5. No square will be there for the queen, and it is a very difficult. Okay, to stop rook e2, he played rook c e1, but after this again he found out a very nice idea, a very simplistic idea, I will say. He played h6 move. Okay, credentials means Saurav Das. Credentials means I am a FIDE instructor, and that is a certified chess coach by, or like by World Chess Federation. I am a certified coach, and one more thing is that I have an international rating also. My highest rating was 2184, and I have played in plenty of international tournaments also, not only in India but also in Malaysia. uh, Malaysia I have played 4 times. Then I have played in European circuits, in Catalan circuit, that is Spanish tournaments. I have played in 4 years, that is 2015, 16, and also in 18 also I have played. And then I have even played in Italian circuit, that is also there. So you can say I have played in, and even in 2 times I have played in Commonwealth tournaments. So as a player also I have huge experience, and now I am a coach also, and due to this corona situation I'm not able to play tournaments this year, but I enjoy playing chess, and chess will always be there with me. Those are my things, or you can say that the credentials. I hope you understand it. Okay. I hope you got it. So here in this position white actually resigned without going further, but just to clarify the matters, because it doesn't seem that why he really resigned in this position, there is a very subtle idea from black side that he wants to play bishop e7, bishop g5, and he wants to trap the queen in this position. Okay, he wants to trap the queen in this position. That is his idea. And if you try to play some, suppose b1 bishop c1, then the bishop b1 is lost, so bishop cannot move in this position. Bishop doesn't have any kind of move, the knight doesn't have any kind of move, it cannot go anywhere, so these two pieces are gone. This rook on e1 cannot move anywhere, because if you move the bishop rook anywhere, then rook e2 is coming and the queen will be trapped. Okay, the queen will be trapped. Well, Saurav, maybe you can definitely study on your own also. Can definitely study on your own, and you can practice, you can do many things on your own. And one more thing I would like to say, that if you can even look at the videos which are there on YouTube, then you can learn a lot. Try to get the notes. Just by looking at the videos will not help you. What you should try to do is like take down the notes, what you learned from that game. You need to be a little bit hardworking person. I hope that you have the internet nowadays and you can learn a lot. And one more thing I would like to say, that maybe like trainers have lot of fees these days. I can understand this thing because I myself is a trainer. But on Unacademy's platform, the fees are not that much great. It will be affordable for you if you can register there. You can use the code also, because if you register for 6 months or something, every month you need to pay only 1200 rupees or 13 something like that. And in that case you'll be getting all the courses which are there by Vishwanathan Anand, Vladimir Kramnik, and so many grandmasters are there. Even my course is also there, so you will be getting lots of content in just 1200 rupees. I think that is the worth investment you can do, and you can learn a lot from the great masters of the game. It is not that much costly. Anyone can afford around 1000 rupees a month, I think, for chess, if you really want to improve at it. But even if you don't want to do that, first month you can definitely subscribe. That is just for 99 rupees. You can't even get good food or a dish in the hotel in 99 rupees. So I think that that thing you can definitely do. At least for 1 month you can try it and see how much you can learn. In 1 month also you can learn a lot, and there are all the courses which are available in just 99 rupees. So do it. Even if you don't want to subscribe, I will not force anyone, but I will say like, have a good look at the content which is there already on the Unacademy's platform. Free courses are there, free classes are there. Look at them. If you like it, then definitely you can use the code, and you can definitely see the plus content also. You will definitely learn a lot. Thank you, thank you very much, Saubhagya. Definitely I think you will enjoy more also. So here rook c1 is played, then rook e2, the queen will be trapped. So finally in this position, if he plays rook f1, then obviously bishop takes f1 is there, and this is also not something good for white. So as he cannot move anything, only the thing which he's left is king h2. But if he plays suppose king h2 in this position, then he can even play this rook f3, and the queen is trapped in this position, because queen doesn't have g5, f4, e2, nothing is there for the queen, so he resigned in this position. I hope you enjoyed this game. The way Aron Nimzowitsch played, positionally he just crushed his opponent. He did not give him any chance. This is how he used to play. This is how you used to play, that positionally he used to crush his opponents without giving him any chances. So should we go to the next game, guys? We have still 7 or 8 minutes, because if you have any other questions you can ask me. Definitely I'll be very happy to answer your questions. Definitely I'll be very happy to answer your questions. If you have any questions, do ask me, and I will definitely answer your questions. So if you have any questions, we still have 7 or 8 minutes, and we can go further also. Let me know. Let me know, guys. Next position which I'm thinking to see is this one. And yeah, this is the position on the board which Aron Nimzowitsch was black in this position, and Karl Schulter, a very strong player at that time, was white. I'll just change the name here. Schulter. His name was Karl Schulter. So I'll just write down Karl Nimzowitsch, and the game was played in the year of 1907. Quite long back, right? It was played quite long back, 1907. Okay, here Karl was white, his opponent Nimzowitsch was black, and this is the, you can say, the preliminary thing before we go to the main part of Aron Nimzowitsch, which will be the second part of Aron Nimzowitsch series, that is the prophylaxis. In prophylaxis thinking, I was even mentioning earlier that what is really prophylaxis. Prophylaxis means, guys, if you have any questions, do ask me, okay? Because this is the same position which we are going to see in the second part also initially. But before we end our session, I would like to talk about it. I would like to talk about the prophylaxis. What is really prophylaxis in chess? How Nimzowitsch came up with this kind of ideas. So prophylaxis means you want to understand your opponent's ideas, his plan of action, and you need to stop them. Okay, you want to stop them, but you stop them not only with defensive moves but also with the active moves from your own thought. So here I will just tell you, here white wants to play f4 at some point. He wants to go like that with f4 move, and by for doing that thing he might be playing knight g1 followed by rook f1 f4, because once he gets this d takes e5 move, then the bishop on c2 will be opened up. This bishop is already having the open diagonal in this position, and that is what white wants to do. So Nimzowitsch understood. Well, Advait, how do you get ratings is like, you get the rating by playing in the rated tournaments. Nowadays the tournaments are not happening because of the pandemic situation, but the international tournaments, like not only international tournament but national tournament, even state tournaments, have the accreditation towards the World Chess Federation, and whenever you get the registered with the AICF, that is All India Chess Federation, you can participate in those tournaments, and if you win against rated players in the tournament, then you get the rating. Okay, so here, as I was mentioning, what is white's idea? He wants to play f4 and open up the position. So Nimzowitsch understand that what his opponent wants to do. So to stop the f4 move, he himself, okay, before his opponent tries to play f4 and before he goes for that thing, he himself plays knight h8 in this position. His idea on the next move is to play g5 and control the f4 altogether. That is how you play. By playing g5 move, not only you are playing passive, but also you are preparing the attack on the king side with g5 and h5 move. This is how you need to play. Okay, this is how you need to play. This is prophylaxis, understanding your opponent's idea. Yes, so here knight g1 was played by white, and definitely here, which move will you play, guys? Can you please tell me? If you are new here, do like the stream, guys, so that more people will always come to know about the stream, what to do, what to play in this position, because we are going to see this position in the next part also, that is the second part. But before we leave, I want to talk about it, because this is a little bit long game, but this position is really crucial and we need to understand it. So which move will you play, guys? Can you please tell me? And once again, I would like to say that use the coupon code, subscribe to Unacademy's platform, G5. Yes, Gauri, Shankar, Gauri, Saraswat, you should play G5, controlling the f4 square in this case, because f4 is stopped. Next idea is to play knight g6. We will be further coming here. Rook g8 will be played, or even we can play bishop g7, and then we will go for our own play, that is f5. Our own play by playing f5, and white's position will be a little bit messy in that case, I will say, because black has more number of pieces on the king side. You can see this bishop is there, this queen is there, this bishop is already eyeing here, this rook is ready to come on g8, and the knight is also ready to jump on the g6 square. So black will be in a much more better position if the position on the king side opens up. Prathamesh Divekar, hello, but we are about to end our session, guys. If you are new here, do like the stream, because we are going to end the session. If you have any doubts, I would like to address them very nicely, the best of my knowledge. And thank you very much for all the support until now. It was a pleasure to talk in front of you. Do like the stream, guys, so that next time also people will, whenever they come, they will definitely watch it. It will be a great help. And one more thing I would like to say before I take your leave: do subscribe to platform and enjoy the good content in just 99 rupees per month, means first month, and subsequently you will be getting lots of discount if you subscribe for 3 months, 10, 6 months, and even 12 months, and 18 months also. Before I leave, I can even try to show you something that is might be useful for you. On Academy, if you go, I'll just show you. Just give me a second. Before I leave, I will just show you how to do it. Window, okay, capture here, and this is the window, guys. Okay, can you see it? I hope you can see this thing. And here, see, this is how, if you go to get subscriptions in this position, then if you apply my code, that is ATUL 87, then if you apply it, then obviously you are not get, because I have already subscribed, that's why it is not showing 99. But if you apply it, then definitely it will be 99 for the first month. But next things, it is 17% by them and 10% by my using my code, that is Atul 87. And you can see 3 months will be just in 3375, 6 months is just about 1000 per month, 12 months is even less than that, 12 months you will be getting in just 7400, and 24 months if you subscribe, then it will be just 10800. So it is a huge discount. You will be getting all the content on the channel, not only my courses, but you will be getting many other things if you go and use the subscription code, and you can enjoy a lot. I hope this small demo will be helpful for you, and it will be good for you. So with this note, I will take your leave. Thank you very much, guys. See you in the